and we're happy folks.
You know, we have a pretty busy agenda tonight to get through. So Naomi, if you want to go ahead and start recording, we'll just kick things off and move ahead.
Yeah, plenty of popcorn.
It's recording now.
Okay. Thanks, Naomi. Again, welcome everybody. I appreciate you taking your some time out of your busy schedule to be with me tonight. Some of you I've had the honor of a DG visit already, which is totally awesome. Had one today with the Eco Club. They're doing very well, and I think they'll continue to do good things. You know, as I tell all the club presidents, you know, each one of the clubs is unique. There's not any two clubs in the state that are alike. So it's been very enlightening for me to get around and meet folks up close and personal, and it's just made a world of difference for me. And I'm a little more than halfway, having visited all the clubs, and which I think is very important for me to get the word out on what my priorities are and where I think the district needs to go for the next year, so we can all pull in the same direction in order to make a difference in this in the district. So like I said, we have a very busy schedule tonight. What I wanted to do first is talk about empowering girls just real briefly. That's a new initiative that came down from RI and from Zone 26, 27, and ask us to appoint a chair for empowering girls. And the chair, well, actually it's co-chaired by past district governor Nalani and Nancy Pace. And I see Nancy I seen her on the screen earlier. Oh, now I see Nancy. Hi, Nancy. And
Hi.
Nancy wants 5 minutes to talk to everybody about empowering girls. I don't think there's anybody more qualified to take on the Empowering Girls initiative than Nancy. So I'm really honored that Nancy offered to co-chair the event with or the committee with past district governor Nalani. So Nancy, I will turn the floor over to you so you can tell everybody about the great things you're going to do this year for empowering girls.
Well, thank you very much, District Governor Randy. I'm thrilled to be able to be a co-conspirator with my dear friend Nalani Flynn. So it's not just me, it takes a village. But just to I'm giving you a really brief overview today, and then I apologize that I have to leave, but I take Italian, and I take Italian every single Monday night and Wednesday and Saturday. So, but tonight is my lesson, so I'll have to go to class. So with that in mind, the Girls Empowerment Initiative, as we have heard, is a directive from RI. It is a framework and resources that we hope will enhance the ability of Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact clubs, members and leaders to not only participate in, but also promote service projects that focus on the health, education, safety, well-being, economic development of girls in our world. Multiple tools will be utilized to educate and inform not only our leaders, but as I mentioned before, our club members to understand the initiative and be able to participate in this year. The first thing we're doing is we're inviting a group of women from various islands and professions to brainstorm what might work in their community, their island, and also utilize their skill sets in their profession to assist us in determining what might be worthy projects that we would be able to suggest to the clubs. I will be, Nalani and I will be using the D5000 website, and some of the things we'll be putting on that website is for everyone to see, not just this group, but what is this initiative and why is it important? We will also be highlighting girls and women's organizations in the islands that might be able to be contacted for a possible project. So I'll be calling some of the individuals that I know in the islands that deal particularly with girls, and contact them and see if they'd be willing to consider projects from Rotary clubs. Also, I really, we have, Nalani and I've talked about it.
Also refused.
Nalani and I have talked about those clubs that are currently doing girls empowerment projects. We want to identify those, put them on the website, also with contact information so other clubs might join in. I'm really looking at this as a major collaborative effort. So it's not just one club doing it, but many. And if I might highlight just for a moment, the Rotary Club of West Pearl Harbor and some information that I got from Nalani and subsequently, actually initially from Sonia Mendez. They have done a project. I'm going to give you this little sample. So it just is a tickler in your brain as to what it might be. It's called, it's with the student group from Waipahu High School called Waipahu Girl Up Club. And they basically worked with Institute for Human Services to host a feminine products drive and ultimately make a kit that they could give to women at IHS. So that's just a sample of something that very, small that could be done. Also, we will identify on the website interact clubs at girls' schools. I have contacts at multiple girls' schools here in the islands, so that may be of use to Rotary clubs. I also want to put on the website important dates to consider for girls. For example, the International Day of the Girl Child is coming up October 11th. What could we do maybe as a group, or maybe multiple clubs could do something, or even a district on October 11th. There are other days. I don't want to take your time. I know you're pressed for time, but there are other days that we'll be putting up on the website. So we will be posting ongoing club projects as long as we get that information from clubs. I also want to post completed projects on the website with photos and ask individuals to put those on social media. We'll also be posting possible speakers from girls' organizations that clubs might access. At trainings, I would like to, and also district conference, educate attendees on the training, on the initiative, and possibly, and I haven't even discussed this with our district governor or our training guru, but have breakout sessions on current club projects that are being done, best practices in this area, and or have a speaker. At district conference, it would be great to highlight all the clubs that have done girls empowerment projects in 2023 with photos. The scope of this initiative is not only the club projects, but then a possible district project. And I'm already working with someone on an international project. So, and probably two. So this is kind of the journey for this year on the Girls Empowerment Project. We're also considering have a women and Rotary activity during the 2022-23 year. So I tried to keep it short, give you a broad overview of what the plans were. And if you have any questions, if we have 1 minute for questions, I'll be glad to take them. If not, I will turn it back to the district governor and hope I didn't take too much time.
No, not at all, Nancy. I mean, your message is very spot on. I just want to thank you for stepping up to take on this initiative. You and Alani are a great pair to make a difference in empowering girls. Any questions for Nancy?
It might have been my 13 years in a girls' school that had something to do with it. and working for a girls' school. So yeah. Anyway. Okay. No questions. I am going to parlo italiano. So arrivederci.
Hey, Nancy, if you would, if you could put your contact information in the
Sure.
chat, then that way,
Sure.
if anybody wants to contact you directly, they've got your contact info.
Oh, great. Okay, sure will. Thank you very much for letting me come and barge in on your meeting.
Our pleasure, Nancy.
And thank you, Nalani. Please raise your hand. She's my right arm, left arm, and head right now. So thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on. I just wanted to remind folks that at 7 o'clock, we have the open mic membership discussion starting at 7. So that's designed just for you to be able to come with your questions, your concerns, your suggestions, your opportunities, your challenges, whatever in an open mic session. No strict agenda unless Naomi or Benson has an agenda that I'm not aware of, but it's just intended to get you folks talking about membership, what's working, what's not working, and where we have opportunities for in the future. So a couple other points that we need to business that we need to get to tonight is we need to select our county reps for DG selection. So with that, I'm going to turn that back over to Naomi so she can get us through that process.
Okay. So hope you all saw the email from Randy letting everyone know that the application process period is open right now for DG nominations. So this is for the district governor in 25-26. So on this committee, we have 5 district governors, past district governors, and 4 representatives from the counties. So we need to select one. And so the AGs, you need to observe, according to our policy manual, the AGs will observe this random process. So we're going to try and do this real quick. So let's start from the Big Island. There are 4 clubs that participated in the awards program. So in order to get into this pool, you need to have participated. Okay, so there are 4 clubs that participated in the awards program. Okay, so I'm going to mix it up and pick one. Okay, so this one is Volcano. Okay, so Volcano is the first one. If the past president from Volcano cannot make it, then the alternative is going to be Hilo. Okay, so going to Kauai, there were 3 clubs that participated. So here are the 3 names. Okay, mix it up. Okay. Okay, and then this one is Poipu Beach. Okay, so Poipu Beach is number 1. And then the backup would be Hanalei Bay. Okay, on Maui, there were 5 clubs. So here are the 5 clubs. Mix it up. Okay, so let's pick this one. This is Kahului. Okay, and if Kahului can't make it, then it's going to be, go with this one, Upcountry Maui. Okay, so on the Oahu County, we have 20. So it's a pretty big lot. I'm going to mix it up. And we should have done this in person, but sorry, we couldn't do it in person. So number 1 is downtown Honolulu, and the runner-up is Waikai. Wait, Waikai? Okay, that's number 2, Hawaii Kai. Okay, Randy?
I think everybody understands what we were just doing. Yeah, if those that may be a little bit green to the process, what we did a few years ago was to make sure that for the district governor selection, we had representation from all the islands. Hence the reason why Naomi just went through the process there. And the district governor nominee selection committee is on October 29th, Naomi?
Yeah.
So it's on. So if your primary can't make it to on that particular day, then it goes to the alternate that would come and attend the selection. And depending upon how many candidates that we have for district governor, it could be an hour or it could be 3 or 4 hours, just depending upon how many is in that pool. So if you have any questions on that, you feel free to send me an email or whatever, and we'll get you the information back. And one other bit of information on that, and Naomi, correct me if I'm wrong. The district picks up the airfare for the neighbor island candidate to come in, so you don't have to worry about taking those funds out of your club's funds for that person to come over. Now, the district governor candidate pays their own airfare to come over, but not the selection committee. Okay, moving along. This past Saturday we had the youth protection training. It was fairly short and concise training, even though I couldn't be there because I was out in Pahoa with Vincent and some of you others on the line doing a community service project out there. But if any of you missed that training, all you need to do is to go to the D5000 website and review that training, and then send your confirmation and certificate. Well, the address, Naomi can post the address, but it's ypo@rotary.org. But we need all the clubs to have attended that training or viewed the training, either in person. Well, none of it was in person, it was all on Zoom. So, but reviewing the recording suffices for that requirement. One of the things I wanted to talk about briefly tonight was joint community service projects that I think are very, very important for us to do. And I'll use Saturday's event as an example. We had 6 clubs out there represented, all the 5 East Hawaii clubs, plus the Eco Club. Kaka'ako was there to participate in painting this mural in Pahoa. And the whole purpose behind what they're doing out there is to give Pahoa a facelift. And for those that have been out to Pahoa, you know what I'm talking about. For those that have not been to Pahoa, it's a rundown, low income type community, and it needs a facelift. So we've been involved. The East Hawaii clubs have been involved in this initiative, and painting the mural was the kickoff of this initiative. But what I'm driving at is that it being a joint effort, and we had our councilwoman that was also in attendance, that if we're doing joint projects that are more impactful to the community, we get much more PI. And if we get PI, we solve some of those membership problems that we have. And I use the Eco Club of Kaka'ako as a good example of leveraging PI and all the notoriety that they got for making the Genki balls and throwing them in the Alawai. And Rotary members were on the evening news, they were in the paper, they were all over social media. And in return, they had a very, very successful year as far as membership went. And they're continuing to do well. But they're a cause-based organization, and it's just the public knowing what they were doing that created the knocks on the door and the request for information and saying, "Hey, I want to be a part of that." And I think that we just need to do much more of that throughout the district, but we do it better whenever we join together and do more impactful, larger projects. We had the year prior, we had the tree planting that we did that involved multiple clubs. And whenever we involve obviously multiple clubs, then we just get more PI. So enough on that.
Hey, Randy, if we got a minute or two, there was a video, we made a video and it's 2 minutes long. If you'd like, we could just let everybody see it sort of as an idea of what can be done.
I think it's a great idea, Vincent. And if you could shoot it
Yeah,
up, we'll do that. I sent
do
it to Josh so he could work the PI piece on it. And Naomi also has it for our newsletter.
Hi everyone, I'm here at the Poa Aquatic Pool and I'm painting this new mural. Me and my brother painted the old mural that's under here about 20 something years ago when we was at Pohoa High School. Right now the county is doing a revitalization of the town, so this is a great opportunity for me to approach them to say that I wanted to update the wall and give it a fresh coat of paint and a new mural. I'm very happy and excited, and I wanted to thank also the Rotary Club. There's about 30 volunteers that came and they was just painting and filling in all the different spaces that I needed to fill. So I just wanted to say mahalo to the Rotary Club. I wanted to also say mahalo to Ashley, our councilwoman, for allowing me to come back and do this mural. I'm very happy, I'm very excited, and I can't wait for it to be done and you guys can see it. And then I can explain a little bit more about each illustration on the wall and what it represents. And also you can come on down to Poa Aquatic Pool. I'm usually here from 2 o'clock to about 4 o'clock, just adding some details to the painting. And when it's completed, I will share a little bit more about it and what each of the illustrations that I have on the wall represents. And but I just wanted to say mahalo nui for everyone's support, the community support, and it's just awesome to revisit this place after 20 something years and to repaint a new and fresh mural. So until next time, ahui ho.
Going round and round in Pohoa town. Going round and round in Pohoa town. Going round and round in Pohoa town. Going round and round in Pohoa town.
Hey, Susie, I know you're on. You want to give us 30 seconds of what this was about? It was a really great project.
Oh, thank you so much. Really, I just want to thank everybody because it really was a group effort. I've been sleeping ever since. No, it's kind of a lot to put that together. But yeah, as was communicated, ever since the eruption, the lava flow almost hitting our town and impacting our community. And then of course, COVID, our community's taken a hit. So the Mana'o is, build it, they'll come, refresh the town, they'll come. So we wanted to, I sit on the Economic Recovery Committee with our Councilwoman Ashley Kirkowitz, and this was one project we decided would be fairly easy for us to do. And what we decided to do was to get a color palette, go around to all the businesses and see who wanted a refresh of some sort. And then we chose a Hawaiian chant reflecting our district of Pele. And so that particular artwork is one of the lines depicting in the chant. And so there's, cohesion. It's not like every kind of artwork anywhere like Koko'ako or whatever, like certain, just it was there's a theme and there's a focus and a purpose. And so this was the kickoff event and redoing this one. And then we have about at least 50% of the businesses in Pahoa participating. And we wanted to make this a Rotary specific, only. We'll open other projects to whomever, and we'll probably do, another Rotary one. But I guess the next big one is the Peace Pole project in September 21, where we're doing the sunrise to sunset. And that will be starting at Kuokala in East Hawaii, and then going to Waimea, to Kimo, and then to Kona. So that's our next collaboration. And then part of the magic of coming together with everyone was that we've been talking our East Hawaii clubs about the Genki project, and it was just magical because we had our Parks and Rec director there, our councilwoman, and then the eco guys, and Kat, Connie, and Benson and I, and we all convened. And the parks, and we're talking about the Queen Liliuokalani Park, because that water is so dirty, and they've actually been doing the data collection. The UH has, you have to have a year of data collection, and the UH has done that water collection. So April guys from the Eco Club are connecting us with the people to do the balls. Between our clubs and my school, we can take the lead on making the balls. Our councilwoman Ashley is getting in touch with the council, her counterpart in Oahu, to address permits. So everybody just magically convened, and at that moment, near the end of the day, to just say, okay, this is something we can do, and this is what the steps are, and everybody that was there at the right time needed to be there. So that, I think we're going to take that on, because actually our Parks and Rec guy said that pond at the park is so stink and hauna. He has groups coming at least twice a month, pulling up buckets of silt and dirt, and it doesn't make a dent. And so he's been actually thinking about this for a year. So when I brought it to his attention, he was so thrilled, and he's completely on board. County's going to help us with the money. I mean, we just laid it all out right then and there. So that kind of magical. So just, great things happening when we can collaborate and have a greater impact, like
Hey,
Randy
Suzie.
says. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. we're good.
Hey, Suzie.
Yeah.
You've been spending
Awesome.
way too much time with Vincent.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
30 seconds.
sorry. It's but it's all good. We want to make an impact, right? It's happening.
Yeah, it really is awesome, and you did a very, very good job. Much better job than I did describing the project and the needs and all that. But and limit your time with Benson though, so we can we got to move along here. Because we're talking about community service. We had training here a few weeks ago on community service, and we didn't have a real good turnout on that. But what I wanted to convey to the presidents is you all don't have to attend all the training that Benson and Naomi have lined up, because it is a ton of training. But what I would ask you to do is to make sure that your service chair is aware of the training, and you encourage them to attend. I think the community service training was only an hour or so. Well, it wasn't that long, but there were some great ideas that came out of it. And one of the ideas that came out of it is that and through my DG visits, what I'm finding is that many of the clubs are asking for a central repository of community service events, because it takes so much time and effort administratively to organize, plan, and execute a community service event. And then only to have 3 or 4 or a handful of people show up for the event, and then for somebody else to say, oh, I wish we would have known that you were having that, you were doing that. We would love to have jumped in on it. So we're establishing on the District 5000 website a community service page to where you can take a look at what the other clubs are doing, and be able to jump in with that club, and not have to spend all that countless time and effort in the planning, organizing. Yeah, obviously, I still want you to do that for your projects that you have invested so much time, energy, and treasure into, but post those and get other folks to come out for that event. It's kind of how we did the Pahoa event. in order to get it to be a joint project that people will recognize. Whereas, and I think I can speak freely, if it was just Susie and the Pahoa Sunset Club going out, doing the event, it wouldn't have drawn near the attention that it does whenever it's a joint event in a community based event.
Randy, real quick, this is Conrad. I believe the webpage has already been established. So Wally Wong, the district community service chair, has created a page called Service Projects that can be found on our homepage by navigating under Our Services. And then there's a sub-menu called Service Projects. That's where all the projects will be showcased, as well as a call for help.
Awesome. Thanks, Conrad. And I knew Wally was going to be involved in it. They didn't know exactly who was posting it where. But the intent behind the whole thing is to get folks to be able to see what's going on and be able to join in with other clubs. Because there are plenty of service projects out there, and we just make, like I said before, we just make much more of an impact when we do it together.
Absolutely.
Susie mentioned the Peace Bowl project that we've got going over here on the Big Island, and past Assistant Governor Nalani will come over and represent me for that event. But we're going to be putting up 3 Peace Bowls here on the Big Island. Again, I think that's going to be a noteworthy event that folks are going to want to take to see what Rotary is doing as far as peace and the efforts that we're taking and going forward. And again, we'll have, I think the newspaper will cover it, and we'll have other media that will also cover it. Being it's 3 Peace Bowls and it's representing the whole island of Hawaii and not just one particular area. So, because it starts out in Pahoa, goes to Hilo, and then over to Kona. So it does cover the whole Big Island. So moving along, PEs, it's very important that the presidents that do not have PEs, that you start to look, should have already elected a PE back in December, but very, very important to get engaged in it right away, because I know Mark will start meeting with his PEs probably next month. I don't have Mark's schedule, but I think it's next month. He starts meeting with his PEs and planning out his year, and we're short 20 PEs out of 53, for the district. So very important that if you haven't addressed PEs, that you start to address it. And right behind that will come the pre-pets training and all of that. And in order for presidents to hit the ground running, you all know if you've done the PE training and you've been engaged early on, it's a much easier year. The Hanaho presidents have a little easier time at it because they've done it before. But very important, if you don't have PEs, to work on that. With that, I know Benson wanted to cover the upcoming webinars. So Benson, you want to cover your webinar list?
Yeah, sure. Hang on just a second while I get that up there. So there's obviously a lot of trainings. I mean, we do like over 60 of them every year. And so what I'm going to try to do is at the beginning of the month, just try to kind of outline the stuff that we've got coming for the next 30 days. And so as soon as I get this up over here, I can share this with you. Hang on. Because like Randy said, sometimes it's not it's not really possible for everybody to go to everything. But it is possible to get that word down to people that are in your club. And so one of the things that we see is kind of a phenomena in our clubs is just attempting to try to get the word down all the way down from the DG, all the way down to every single member in the district. That's not always easy because typically the only way it can get there is through you guys. So now we're trying to, get the other community service chairs, club trainers, people that come for foundation training, trying to get all of these guys involved in it. So some of that information can filter down. All right, so 13th of August, we've got the District 5000 Project Fair. 22nd of August, we've got youth service chairs. And so you don't have to write all this down. It's on the district website, so you can follow it. 27th of August, which is Saturday, we have social media and public image, which is really a big one. The 29th of August, which is a Monday night, we start foundation planning. So there's basically 3 different sessions for foundation. On the 3rd of September, we begin the first section of a 4-section course called Kulian. It's a course in leadership. Some of you guys did that last year. And then this meeting, Presidents and AGs, takes place 7th of September, Wednesday night, 6 to 7. And then on the 10th of September, we're having Foundation Basics 101, which is 9 to 10 o'clock. And then that's followed right behind that with grant qualifications. And then the 12th of September, Monday, is club trainers. So a lot coming up the next 30 days. So we'll get this information out to you guys, tell you who the training is directed toward, but anybody can come. So you guys are welcome to come. If you have people in your club that are just really interested in certain things, they can show up and they can learn it. So that's it, Randy. That's what's coming up in the next 30 days, and I guess we'll try to keep you guys on top of that.
And I would just like to say again that, there is no expectation. Now, if a president does want to attend every one of those trainings, by all means do it. But there's no expectation that any president is going to attend every one of those training seminars. But, I would like for you to make sure that your community service chair, your foundation chair, whatever training that's coming up, that they do have situational awareness, that training is available. And if you've got a very, very strong community service chair, well, there's little to gain from attending the training, other than they may come away with another good idea that they can put in their tool chest and use at a later date. So please do make sure your folks are aware of the training that's coming up, and don't stress yourself out by trying to attend all of it yourself. One other very important piece I wanted to make sure that I covered this evening is the grant funds are in. They're ready for distribution. All we need is a copy of your bank statement showing that the club cash is in the account, and the account be labeled TRF District Grant account or just grant account. But that account has to be separate from your club account. It can't be your club account. So as soon as we get that confirmation in, the sooner we can get you your checks. Because as I mentioned at each one of my district governor visits, our DDF that comes back to us, 100% of that goes back to the clubs. There is no district withhold. So that's all your money, your club's money that you contributed 3 years ago coming back to you. But we are required to verify that you have a separate account for that grant money. Naomi, was there anything else you wanted to mention on that, on the grant account money?
No, but everybody, please send it in. We have that money you can use for your projects. And when you get that money, please let your club members know that this money is their money coming back and it's projects you have selected, your club has selected. Make a big deal of it.
Yeah, and I'll even bring to those clubs that I haven't already made a DG visit to, and it'd be my pleasure to turn around and come back to many of those clubs to bring the check just to make sure. I mean, you all could do it very, very well yourselves, but it's just something that's very, very important to me that I'd be more than willing. I love doing club visits, you know, and Naomi and Sandy and any other PDG on here could probably tell you, you know, the best part of being DG is doing the club visits. It's just absolutely a hoot to spend time with every one of you in your club visits. And those that I've visited, and I've only visited a couple virtual, most all of them have been in person. I will be back. I will attend one of your in-person meetings as soon as you're ready to have an in-person meeting. So we've just had a couple of clubs that still weren't ready to do in-person. So, but I will make a club visit to each one of those clubs. With that, that's all I had tonight. And I know some of you may disappear whenever we move into the open mic night and we talk about membership. But I just wanted to do a shout out, and not because Connie is in my club and the president this year, but you know, I take a look at the numbers all the time, and Connie had a very, very good month. She had 7 new members just in July. She's entered more in August, but she had a net increase of 7 in July. But there's been other clubs that have also done very well in July. Kaka'ako, Lahaina, Maui, South Hilo, all +2, which is awesome. Kahalui, Kapa'a, Mililani, West Honolulu, and Windward are all up +1, and that's just in the month of July. So folks are doing great with that. And like I said, the next hour, starting at 7 o'clock, we'll just do open mic and share best practices, and maybe Connie can share some of her secrets of other than what I taught her, you know. But yeah, I did. She didn't faint, so she must believe that also. So with that, you know, we've got 15 minutes left. I just like to open it up for any questions, comments, concerns, challenges, opportunities, anything you want to talk about.
Hey, Randy, I have something.
Hi, Wendy.
Wendy from Honolulu Sunrise. Oh yeah, we're actually +1. We inducted a new member this morning.
Awesome.
Then the other thing is, one of our members is Ukrainian, and she is actually in Ukraine right now, Oksana, and she is sponsoring 2 families. They got in under the Ukraine refugee program. So they're actually arriving on August 21st here to Honolulu. It's 2 mothers with a son and 2 daughters, and they are going to be here surviving basically while their husbands are in Ukraine. They've basically lost everything. They've been refugees for the past 5 months. But we are putting together a collection. So our club is going to be doing gift cards so that they can, you know, shop, get groceries, do things like that until they get settled and we can figure out. So we just didn't know if some of the other clubs would be interested in helping out. When they get here, we hope to have more information to give out, but we're just trying to welcome them and at least give them a little bit of stress-free landing when they get here.
Well, that's awesome, Wendy. Do you have a point of contact in your club that's kind of honchoing that for you?
It's kind of me and Rob Hale until Oksana gets back. She's still going to be in Ukraine until the end of this month. But we are actually doing a collection. They land the 21st. We have an in-person meeting on the 22nd. And so I could send the letter out if someone wants to distribute it, that I just said if they want to mail gift cards and stuff to my office, I'll take it to that meeting and get it to them. Ironically, they are staying in Oksana's apartment, which is in Kukui Plaza, which is where my office is.
But Wendy, could you put your address in the chat box? Because I know I have several of my members that would be happy to respond to that. We just need to know where to send things.
Okay. Will do.
Thanks.
And the kids are 14, the boy is 14, one of the girls is 10 and one is 9.
Well, thanks, Wendy. And we will also get that information into the next newsletter also. So everybody in the district gets a chance to see it. But thanks, Mike, because I was going to ask Wendy to put her contact information in the chat. So anybody on the Zoom could contact her directly. Which I don't recommend the president be the point of contact, but I know sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and it's I just like to not burden the president with their, but it goes back to me being known as the super delegator in my club during my year. I delegated everything I possibly could because I knew there was a whole lot smarter people in the club than me. So
yeah, this will be temporary until Oksana's back on island. Then she'll definitely be spearheading a lot of this.
So who else has announcements or just wants to provide what's going on?
Hey, Randy, I wanted to bring something up real quick because we're talking about donations. I know that one of the things that, and I know some of you guys have already done this, and chime in if you have some feedback on this, is that, we set up a Venmo account in our club so that people can actually donate happy dollars through Venmo. And that's been really, really productive. And it also helps us to move money around between clubs. If a club or some other person we need to send money to, we can get it over quickly. So if any of you guys already have a Venmo or have any feedback on that, let me know, because we haven't seen the downside of it yet, if there's a downside.
We still have another 10 minutes. If anybody else has anything, just feel free to jump in.
Hey, Randy, it's Kimo up in North Hawaii. I just want to reiterate about the Peace Pole Day. That's a full day that we're going to plant 3 peace poles. We're actually going to have them situated. We're going to start in Hilo at Susie's school over there. And we're going to start at about 9 a.m. on, and this is Peace Day. It's World Peace Day. It's on September 21st. So we're going to do the first pole ceremony in the morning around 9 a.m. And then up in North Hawaii at Waimea, at Waimea Preservation Association, we're going to have a noon event with dignitaries and whatnot. And I'd like to see some of the people come from the other islands, because you could come over to Kona, and I know we're going to have a sunset peace pole event. So you could attend the sunset event in Kona, and then we could put you back on the plane. You won't have to worry about transportation. Rotarians will take care of you. So it could be a very, very wonderful event. And Randy, I know you're going to be making all of the rounds on that. And so it should be a very special event. And Also, I want to just throw out something. Our club does a fundraiser on, we have these sunset tours. And Benson and Susie came over for our whale watch thing in March, but we're going to have another one on September 17th. And it includes all the food and adult beverages you can consume. And we're also going to have entertainment. So we're a little north of $100 on that, but we're going to have a fun event. So that's on the 17th. So Naomi, think about coming over. You can spend the weekend, and come do a little sunset tour, and then come and do the Peace Bowl settings as well. So anyway, there you go.
Kathleen, go ahead. I see you got your hand up. So anybody want to plug anything? Now's the time to do it.
Okay, I'm going to take advantage. Thank you
Yeah,
so
go
much.
for it.
Aloha, everybody. Good evening. I wanted to really thank several of the Rotary clubs and also give some the opportunity to support the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which many Rotary clubs are partnering with. And basically the National Suicide Prevention Day is September 10th. And there is an Out of Darkness walk on Oahu and on the Big Island in Hilo on September 10th. Eventually, with more support, we hope to get to Maui and Kauai. But for this year, since we're just kind of making a comeback, it's on the 2 islands for this year. But every 2 days, somebody dies by suicide in Hawaii. And so, mental health matters. I'd really love to get you out and help with this. It is something that people form teams, and it is a fundraiser, but it's really not about that. It's about getting the resources to people and letting people know that, it's okay to talk about it. I know sometimes it's a taboo topic, but we really believe that talk saves lives. So just want to say thank you, and hope you can get involved. I'll put the website in the chat. Mahalo.
Okay.
Al, you had something?
Yeah, I'd like to let everybody know that 4 of the Rotary clubs on Maui are getting together on August 27th to do a West Side Health and Wellness Fair up in Lahaina. And we have enlisted now 29 community organizations who will be at the Lahaina United Methodist Church for at least half a day, if not more, to do this pretty large community event. So we also are going to have the Lahaina Luna Band. We're going to have Uncle George Kahumoko, who is a Grammy-winning artist on Maui, perform. And so I think this is another one of those joint Rotary things that'll help our public image and also do well by doing good.
Awesome, Al. I think that's just it's spot on what I'm talking about when clubs come together and do something larger, and the PI and everything on that is going to be fantastic. And we'll probably ask the Josh and his PI team to reach out so we leverage PI on that event. That's awesome. So Bruce, you had your hand up, buddy.
Hey,
Yes.
Okay.
Our club is having a fundraiser on September 9th. It's a wine tasting fundraiser for our community service projects and scholarship fund. And the information is on the district website. But if you'd like more information or me to send you an invitation directly, I'll put my email in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Hey, Randy. Dave Lester had his hand up early and we missed him. So Dave, why don't you go, because now we got several people got their hand up.
Sure. the Rotary Club of Kauai is moving forward on a tentative plan to do a Ginky Ball project on Kauai. Just to let you know.
Awesome. Opportunity for another eco club.
No. We're going to do it with our club.
Okay. Okay, looks
Okay,
like,
Mike?
yeah, Mike's up, huh?
Hey, just a quick question. The benefit of being a Hanaho president is you get to go through this whole grant thing 2 years in a row. And I'm lucky because I have a Hanaho treasurer who remembers it from last year when we're working it. I am just going to throw a quick question out because I saw Sandy on here. And at the end of Sandy's year, all the clubs were given the opportunity to get an extra benefit of a $250 grant because the District 5000 staff hadn't been able to use their travel funds. We had our club doubled down on it, so that 250 became 750. Do we still submit the same end of year paperwork that we did for the grants for last year? I just bring this up to the presidents know that you got to track your grants, and then when you get them done, there's paperwork that goes back to D5000 just to close it out to show where it went. So
Mike,
I'll shut up and just.
Mike, that was a gift. So there's no paperwork, no paperwork.
All right. Well, then we threw in $500 extra, and it all just got used this past weekend. Okay. No, great. And wherever she is out there, Sandy, thank you for giving us that gift.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you make good use of it. Mahalo.
Nice one, Mike. Thank you.
Dave, you're up next, buddy.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak for the 5 clubs that I'm responsible for. Is that this Saturday we are doing a project as a joint project for all 5 clubs at the Lanakila Senior Center under the guidance of Senator Susan Shun Oakley. And so we will be going out there to do a bunch of work over there for that senior center. And we should be having around 50 people attending that. So it should be a great project this Saturday.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Again, those projects that bring clubs together, are just awesome. And another plug for Dave. We talk about community service projects, but Dave's club had a beach. What was it, Dave? Grills Gone Wild that they opened up to everybody on Oahu to come out and join them on the beach. I think those social events like that are many times are just as important. Well, they're just as important as many of the community service projects, because if we don't have that glue that binds us all together as friends, then we have problems retaining people, retaining members. So we are at the 6:59 mark, and for those that want to stick around and talk about membership open mic, please do. For those that are going to sign off, thank you very much for showing up and spending an hour with me this evening, and we'll do it again next month. So I do appreciate everybody that showed up tonight. Shows your dedication to yourself, your club, and Rotary. So thank you.
All right.
So Naomi, Benson, we don't have to sign out and sign back in on a different
No.
Zoom link. We just stay here. Okay.
No, we're all about the same link, man. We actually, I don't know if you guys